Peace, peace, welcome. Peace, and so glad you are here. So we just want to start off with a quick journal prompt, and that journal prompt is 2024 taught me, and 2025 I embrace. So thinking about the reflections and lessons you've experienced in 2024, what are you really looking forward to embracing and embodying in 2025? So we're going to take about just a few moments to journal and respond to that. And take about the next 30 seconds to finish up that journaling. 2024 taught me, and 2025 I embrace. And so remember, we can always come back to that. We need to. So welcome. I'm so excited you guys are here. Visions to Dreams Vision Board Party. And I'm gonna let you know now, it's not gonna be your average vision board party. So just setting off with some intentions and some norms. And we want to just start with the wellness check-in and the eight dimensions overview. Everything that I do is rooted in wellness, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself in a little bit. Then we'll move into a mindfulness meditation, do some journaling there. You got a snippet of that, right, with the journal prompt to welcome us in. Then we'll get into visions to dreams and some intention setting, right? What does that really mean? Why is that the name of this, right? We'll get into all that. And then the last few moments, right, we'll close out with planning our wellness focus and creating our virtual vision board. Now I will name, you will receive the links to all of the templates. They are made in Canva. So if you already have a Canva subscription or you have a Canva login, you'll be able to just like make a copy of that. Another option is to just kind of print it out. You can print a hard copy because it'll come to you as a PDF. It should be able to come to you as a PDF as well. But if there's any issues with that, you can always just use your regular journal and just write how you want to write using the same prompts and things. But for the template specifically, if there's any issues with that, you can reach out and I'll make sure you get that. And it's just setting some norms, right? I always say this is a safe space, right? And that just means security, accountability, freedom, and expression. All those things will be happening here. And so just some norms around that, right? Just honoring your truth. So making sure we're using I statements, accepting and expecting non-closure. We'll do some things here. We might learn some things here. It won't be an in all, but just know that anything that we start today can always just be an ongoing practice or something that you come back to. And then last but not least, just stay engaged, right? Yeah, that's it. And so we're going to keep it moving. So just a little bit about me. For those of you who do not know, my name is Dakiba Crow, and I've created this Mindful Moments lifestyle, honestly, to save my life with some of the things that I've been going through. And this year is just mainly focusing on sharing more of what I've learned with more of my people and more of my community, more of my tribe, as I'm looking to find them and then they're looking to find me, right? And so if you can tell from these pictures, you can probably tell the things that I love doing the most, right? I love to cook. I love to eat good food. I also love to travel. I'm a July summer baby. I love the water. I love being in nature. I love being outside in the warm weather. Love the beaches, love the oceans, all of those good things. And I always love a nice, good cup of hot tea, usually coffee, but shifting away from that. And I just love being able to teach. And one of the things that I'm really big on, and again with this mindful moments lifestyle, it just really told me that I can truly create the life that I want to live. I can truly create that. And one of the things that I always say, my intentions every day, and I'll get into that a little bit later too, right? I set intentions every day, and they're always, right? I am love, I am peace, because I choose how I show up. And your energy introduces you before you speak. And so I just want to set that vibe here. Again, this is a safe space. I'm going to be open and transparent and vulnerable. And so hopefully that creates the space for you guys to do the same. And now I'm just going to do a quick wellness check in. So these are the zones of regulation. If you've seen the movie Inside Out or Inside Out 2, it is one of my faves. Kind of similar, but not the exact same. Colors match the character. So just quick overview. Our zones of regulation are kind of like our energy meters or our capacity levels, right? And so depending on what zone we are, it kind of depends on how we show up. So that green zone is our regulated self. We're calm. Everything's regulated in that state. And that's our green zone. So our energy is right where it needs to be. That's like our 100%, whatever that 100% looks like for that day, and we're able to show up and do the things that we need to do. Then if you think about our energy kind of rising a little bit, right, that's that yellow zone. So our energy is rising a little bit. We're still in control of it. We might be starting to get a little bit dysregulated, but overall we're still a bit regulated. But we may be starting to feel that anxiousness or that overwhelm or maybe some discomfort there. Then if our energy goes a little bit lower than that green zone, right? That's our blue zone. So maybe I'm sick, maybe I'm sleepy, I'm not feeling my best, I'm a little sad, I'm just feeling down, right? Maybe heard of so we have the blues, right? And so thinking of my energy is not at 100. I don't have that much energy to give, and that's maybe how I'm showing up. And then red zone is the complete opposite of that end, right? My energy is completely dysregulated. I'm barely, if not out of control of my energy. So I might be panicked, I might be crying, I might be upset, I might be angry. That's that red zone. So just taking a moment to think about where you are in this moment. You can feel free to type into the chat or just drop that in your journal. Where are you right now? And so to close us out here, just always going to close out with the love and kindness, well wish. And so what that is just sending a well to ourselves as well to others, because we are all connected, right? We are all connected. And so feel free to repeat after me. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be peace. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be safe. And may you be peace. And so now this is one of my favorite things to talk about. And the reason being is because one of the things that really do not like, I was about to say hate, but again, being mindful of my language. One of the things that I really dislike is all the talk about self-care. Yes, I know. I do not use that word, and I'm going to tell you why. Because here's the thing, right? And one of my favorite quotes from Audre Lorde that I kind of use all the time in terms of being taking care of myself is just an act of political warfare in that in itself, right? I know I'm not saying that correctly, but just in terms of like I'm supposed to take care of myself every day that I live. I'm going to take care of myself. So this whole notion of self care and pushing that language intends that I'm not taking care of myself. And if I'm living, I got breath in my body. Obviously, I'm doing something right, and I'm taking care of myself. But I think really what the need is it really has to do, the need is really taking care of self, right? But we do that because we're alive. Now, we might not be taking the best care of ourselves, right? So that is why I do not use the term self-care. You will always hear me talking about wellness, right? And there are 8 dimensions of wellness. So really the wellness defined is just the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to a state of holistic health. So when we're talking about holistic health, that is looking at all of you. I'm going to dive into the dimensions a little bit, and this is just kind of like a quick overview. I do have some other sessions where I dive a little bit deeper into each of the dimensions of wellness and how they're interconnected, and even more history on how they became about, right? But just for today's purposes, understanding like it's the active pursuit, and we want to talk about that too, right? When we're thinking about dreams from visions, right? It's that active pursuit. We have to make that choice every day. We wake up with 2 things, right? When we open our eyes, we have a chance and we have a choice. And it's what is it that you are doing? Are you making those choices? Are you making those decisions? Are you choosing to have a lifestyle and participate in activities that will lead to a state of holistic health? And when we say holistic health, that means I am functioning the way I'm supposed to, as optimal as my body is supposed to, is my optimal wellness. I'm taking care of all of those things. So, what are all of those things? And before I even get into that, right, it doesn't mean that all the time, all of these things will be at 100%, because sometimes that's just not the case, right? But making decisions that will increase these things as close to 100% as possible, right? And so, what are those? The main two, right? Mind, body, and soul. So, we have our physical, right? Our physical wellness, things going on with our body, our intellectual, so things going on with our mental space. So, not only if there may be some levels of depression or some levels of anxiety or some other mental worries or challenges, right? But also the things that we are consuming and downloading, right? What books am I reading? What types of media and entertainment am I allowing to go into my brain, right? And then we have emotional, right? How do I feel? Not only how do I feel, but am I engaging in healthy releases of my serotonin and dopamine, right? Am I taking care of knowing how I'm feeling? Am I communicating how I'm feeling? And am I giving, am I receiving the love that I'm giving? Am I receiving the love that I need? Also thinking about our spiritual wellness dimension, right? So how am I connected to the higher power, whatever I may believe in? How is my spiritual practice? What am I doing for my spiritual growth? And then we also have financial, right? And a lot of people, it gets kind of confusing because sometimes we might not think of our finances as a part of our health, right? Or a part of our wellness. But a lot of times money can impact a lot of things that we do or that we are able to do. And a lot of times it really just comes down to the mindset. So how is my financial wellness? What money habits do I have? What money beliefs do I have? What spending habits and spending beliefs do I have? Then we think about occupational and environmental. So the type of work that I'm doing. And for me, that's really important. It's really important that the type of work that I'm doing matters to me and that I feel passionate about the work that I'm doing, that I feel like my work is making a difference, that I'm intentional, right, about the work that I'm doing. My work has an impact on me. And sometimes my work could be a level of stress, right? And then again, my occupational wellness, is that enough to pay my bills? Is it not enough to pay my bills, right? Thinking about all those types of things. And then last two, environmental as well as social. So environmental is thinking about my space and my surroundings. So not even outside of your house, but maybe even inside of your house. Maybe you live in an area where you have access to things in nature that you need. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's a food desert. Maybe there's not, right? Maybe even just the way the spaces in your houses are set up. Maybe you might be a hoarder. And I know sometimes I could be that, right? It's just taking a moment to just examine, are you in healthy environmental spaces best for you? So that's just that in a nutshell. And then in a moment, what we're just going to do is kind of transition here and just thinking about where are we when it comes to our wellness, right? Where are we when it comes to our wellness and thinking about our visions to dreams? Now, usually we start off with our dreams, right? And I know I dream I'm going to live to be in my hundreds, right? That's a dream that I had. So thinking about that, how can I now today think about activities and lifestyles and choices that I can move on today that will help me accomplish that dream, right? So just thinking about that. So we're going to take some time now and then just kind of set some priorities for all of our wellness dimensions. And the way that we are going to do that, and I'm going to put the link to the template is in the chat, and then you'll receive it in your emails. And so just going to take a moment and thinking about where we are. So we're going to do a quick mindfulness meditation and journal. And mindfulness is just right being aware. So we first, while we're thinking of this, and we're going to let our wellness party be our focus. Think about rating each of those dimensions from 1 to 10. So maybe when it comes to your physical wellness, maybe that's something that you have on deck, right? And that's a 10 for you right now. And that's something that we'll still be able to include, but maybe we'll just be able to think about where and how we include it in our 12-month wellness priority focus plan, okay? And so for this breath work, I would like for us to engage in square or box breathing. And what that is just where we inhale, we hold, we exhale, and we hold. And it's kind of repeating that cycle. And that's just really a good breath to use when it comes to needing to have a clear mind, needing to engage in any type of reset or help you regulate and see things clearly. And so, again, we'll just breathe in, hold it, exhale it out, and hold it. And the music will begin shortly, following the pace of your own breath. Allow the back to be straight. Breathing in through the nose, holding, exhaling out the mouth slowly before holding again and repeating the cycle at your own pace. We'll be here for about 60 more seconds, continuing that breath. And thinking about those 8 dimensions of wellness and rating each one 1 to 10. Can slowly bring awareness back to this space. And then now what we're going to do is just kind of take some time to rate each one of our wellness dimensions 1 through 10. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of music back on. And like I said, we'll kind of just rate each one 1 to 10. And then I'm going to show you a quick way to prioritize them based on that, based on the 12 months. So if you can see the 12 months, right, we think of those in quarters of 3 and 4 quarters. So 3 months per quarter. And thinking about maybe you might want to focus on 2 per quarter. Maybe you want to focus on 3 per quarter, 6 per quarter. It's just up to you, right? And so once you rate them 1 to 10, and then we'll categorize them. And again, we can use a template or you can jot these down in your journal now. And my silence is going to give you some think time to do that. If you have any questions, feel free. All right, and again, as we set our norms in the beginning, accepting that we might not finish all his today, and that's fine, but we're going to go ahead and keep it moving. So now we're going to get into our visions and dreams and thinking about why a lot of us are off today. And we are celebrating, right, the work and legacy of Dr. King. And so that is the only thing that we are acknowledging today. And so when we think about the dreams that he had and maybe the life that he lived and thinking about how close or maybe even how far we are from his dream today. But the thing is that he had a dream and he lived actively sharing that dream with others, creating community and being a leader and seeing some of those dreams possibly come true, but also being able to lead the legacy and allow visions and other dreams to be planted and visions to actually come to fruition. So when we think of our dreams, think of past, present, and future, right? Maybe even think of some of those things you may have dreamed of as a child, right? Depending on how old we are now, right? I know there are some things I dreamt of as a child that some of it came true, some of it didn't. One of the things that I will share to you is my journey in becoming a home buyer before we get to this next meditation. And so it will be a visualization meditation, but I just want to share my home journey story. And one of the things I've always wanted to do, right, is buy a home. And I want to buy a home for several reasons, right? Because I believe that's one of the ways to begin to build wealth and leaving the legacy, right? I'm a mom, I have children, and also because I wanted, my children to live in a comfortable neighborhood, in a safe neighborhood, and be able to have their own space, have their own rooms. And apartment living just didn't offer that, especially in the city that I live in. And so I remember working with a realtor, going to visit homes. Nothing really felt like, okay, this was going to work for me. I remember there was a home that I would kind of drive by on my way to work because it was in the neighborhood in my area, not too far from where I grew up, actually. And they would have signs that, advertising that these homes are for sale. And I was just like, I paid no mind to it. I paid no attention to it because I was just like, oh, that's about to be way out of my budget. And the other thing that I was also doing, right, because this is where my mindful moments lifestyle, like the meditations I was doing, the visualizations I was doing, and I will share one of my journalings was just to write that I am abundantly grateful for my four bedroom, two bathroom home in Blase City. And that's exactly what happened. The homes that I drove past, and eventually the relationship with my realtor became non-existent. Ended up putting offers on houses, losing money and things like that. But I was able to get that house that I did. And so sometimes our dreams aren't in alignment with our vision because sometimes the vision can be so much bigger, but it does start with a dream. I knew that I wanted that house. I knew how many bedrooms I needed it to have and wanted it to have. And I was just so grateful for it before I even had it. Right. And that was the vision, right? Staying true to that work and really believing that. And not even just believing it, right? But choosing the action, right? To consciously, right? Know and do the work and take the action that it takes, right, to make that become a reality. So sometimes we just need an action plan. And that's the goal that we're going to have for today. And so for today's meditation, this is just going to be a visualization and thinking about the dreams you may have, thinking about the visions you may have. We are going to begin our meditation. So I invite you to find a comfortable seated position. If you're lying down, that's also fine. And this will be a guided meditation, so my voice will guide you. And just take a moment to settle in, grounding down. So, if possible, making sure your feet are on the floor. And just settling in, finding some small movements, maybe some shoulder rolls or some neck rolls. And as you just think about your dreams, taking a moment of gratitude here just for showing up for self. I'll take some cleansing breaths where we just breathe in and let it out. So breathe in through the nose. And let it out. Do 2 more of those. Breathing in. And let it out. One more after this. Breathe in. And let it out. Last one, we'll make this the biggest breath and we'll hold it a bit longer at the top. Breathing in. Holding it just a bit at the top while the chest is expanding and slowly letting it out. Staying connected to the flow of breath in your body. Allow my voice to be your guide. I want you to imagine that you enter a room and as you open the door, there's a chair that looks really comfortable. And beside this chair, there's a stand with some old journals. And you decide to walk over to the chair, take a seat, and as you look over on the stand, you see a journal that says visions. So you decide to grab the journal that says visions on the cover. And as you begin to open, you notice there are handwritten notes. At first you aren't sure, but then you remember some of the conversations you've had with some of friends and family. Let's take a moment to explore what you notice on the pages. As you're flipping through the pages, whatever messages you receive right now are meant just for you. And as you begin to get to the back of the journal, you see your name. Handwritten, and underneath it says, "You are purpose driven and well protected. You are here for a reason. Continue to choose to walk in alignment with your divine purpose and know that all will be well." Taking a moment to notice how you feel and any thoughts that may arise as you hear that message and read that message just for you. And then as you close the journal, you place it back on the stand and get up from the chair to exit the room. And as you're walking towards the door, you hear sounds of joy and cheer and excitement. And as you touch the door to open it, you notice there's a mirror. And you see yourself dressed in an outfit that says power, that says purpose, that says vision. Take a moment to note what you're wearing. Take a moment to know how you feel. And now, as you turn the doorknob, you're walking out to a stage. You're told to walk towards a podium where there's a microphone. And you notice a crowd. Maybe this is an outside space, maybe this is an indoor space. Who do you notice in the crowd there to hear your message? Maybe it's friends and family, maybe it's people you've never seen before, maybe it's people you work with, people you have another impact or influence on. And as you step to the podium and begin to say your first words, parting your lips, the crowd becomes silent to listen to what you have to say. Take a moment to notice, what is your message? What are you saying to the crowd? Are you giving them hope? Are you teaching them something? Are you sharing something? What is your message and how does it align with your vision? So, taking time here to visualize how you feel as you're giving your speech, as you're sharing your vision, as you're sharing dreams that have turned to visions. Take in the crowd and how you feel in the words coming out of your mouth. Continue to allow your breath to be your anchor and staying connected to it as my silence will give you time to visualize. When you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves back to this space, placing the hands over the heart space, finding some small movement. Closing out this meditation, repeating after me. I know who I am. I am here for a reason. I'm divinely guided. I'm well protected. I know who I am. I'm here for a reason. I'm divinely guided. I'm well protected. Breathing in and letting it out. And as you're ready, we can slowly come back to this space. And so now we want to get right into it and just thinking about how did that feel for you? Just taking some time right now to just go ahead and kind of journal those things out. And it's really going to be important to journal those things out because once you journal those things out, it's going to help you plan your vision board. So we talked about the priorities that we want to focus on. I just want to go back a little bit to our intentions, right? We did some mindfulness meditation and journaling. We overviewed and did our wellness dimensions overview and check-in. And now we kind of started planning our wellness focus for the next 12 months. And now we want to create our virtual business, our virtual vision boards. All right. And then actually, while I'm bringing that up, I also put the link in the chat for Piper, get down. we go. All right. So I'm just going to kind of play a little bit of music as we create our vision boards, and then we will wrap it up. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I will leave this space open now for just to share and reflect what we kind of talked about in the beginning, the very, very beginning, right? What did 2024 teach you? And what are you willing to embrace in 2025? And then as we close out, reflecting on that, the 12-month vision planner is available, and it has a breakdown of what we kind of talked about today in terms of the 12-month wellness priority focus. So you can set your wellness priority focus for every single month of this year. It also has like a weekly, daily, monthly breakdown for your goals and trackers, and then just a whole goal tracker for whatever goal you are working on. I know, like for me, right, I want to look at in December 2025, I want to look at how many boxes are shaded. That meant that I went to the gym, right? So things of that nature. So again, as always, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, peace.